Jim Garris. I would like to do a little more introduce myself, if possible. I've been around this church for 35 years. Can you believe I'm up here today? And I'm up here because of many people in this church, present and past. I've always believed in God. I've followed God. I remember in Vietnam, I always took my Bible with me. But I just never really cared. I don't know. I used to tell my wife, I got too many things to do at home, or I don't want to dress up. And look at me dressed up. Got my best Levi's on. But I want to thank a few people in this church. As I said, many years ago, Judy and the boys attended this church, and the boys grew up in this church. I've got 3 loving, godly boys. Every morning Judy had Bible study with them. I never participated. I did like God, but I just didn't take time to do it. And I'm making up for it now, and I'm glad I'm on board finally. But there's many people in this church that I've made friends with since I've been coming to church the last 3 years. And they're very, very close friends, probably as close as I can have. But there's a few couples here that have prayed for me through the years and called me and tried to entice me to come to church, and I always said no. And I wanted to mention some of their names. Dale and Bev Schrag. Thank you folks for being a part of my Christian job. Sheila and Old Buswell. About 35 years ago, they bought me a Bible. And if you had only known, you could put it on the layaway for 35 years. And started to use it. The Gravers, still here. Jerry and Larry Bliven. And probably the biggest pest of all of them that bugged me for years to come to church, but now I don't call it a pest, but I did in those days, was Myron Cleaver and Gloria. Myron told me all the time and asked me, Jim, for your wife, please come to church. And out of my family, Jude, I want to thank you for raising our boys in a Christian atmosphere and bearing with me all those years. I'm proud of my family. They're all sending their kids to Christian schools. I love it. I'm part of it now, and I'm up here to prove that today. But Jude, without your prayers and staying on top of this through the years with our whole family, I don't know what would have happened. I wouldn't probably be up here today because my family wouldn't have cared. But the more I go to this church, the more I get into it. And there's one other person here that sort of got me kicked off to coming into this program. This gentleman stand next to me. Does anybody know this gentleman? I was working on a place one day, and the phone rings, and I answer. It was Blaine. This is 3 or 4 years ago, and he says, Jim, would you be interested in joining our Wednesday night Bible study? And I said, sure. And I can't believe it. All the time, like I said, Myron's called me, I just said, sure. I guess you get wise when you get old, so you young folks remember that. So I asked Judy if she would give up her Wednesday night class, and she said, of course. So ever since then, I've started going to Blaine's small groups on Wednesday night. And the more you go, the more you want it. There's great people. I made great friends in there. Everybody in the small groups, I love you. I've came a long ways with you guys. You answer my dumb questions I ask. But it's just great. Jody Herndon, I had a heart attack 2 years ago. She was the first one at the hospital in Salem. And that's the type of group we have. And anybody wanting to join this church or any church, you go to small groups, and I'll tell you what, you can't get enough of it. They're here with you. We share things with one another. Paul Cole, Bob Herndon stop by my work all the time. I don't think they have jobs. Bob said he's busy, but he's always at my work. But you know, we talk about everything. Military stuff, Bob's retired military, I love the military, everything. But never do we have a conversation without bringing God into it. And that's a different type of friendship than I've ever had. I'm a salesman, and I talk to any kind of different kind of person. But very seldom do you talk about God on the street, and I'm loving it. And I'm wanting to thank you, Pastor Guy, for what you've done for this church. I haven't been here much, but I know I've heard good things about how you brought this church back in the day. I'm looking forward to being part of your game. So again, thank everyone here, and I love you all.